Yeah, good afternoon guys, good day, good morning, anytime you get to watch this video, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Gidigbi Olamilekon Enoch, and it is obvious that I brought someone today, beautiful at that. So, do you want to tell them who you are?
My name is Dr. Oyindamola Spoke, and I'm an optometrist and I'm his friend.
Yeah, for how many years then?
10 years and
I
think it's like 11 years and counting now, actually. Last year was 10 years and counting.
Yeah, I still see you in that Emmanuel body.
Please.
Very round and
we should have gone past.
Yeah, okay, right. So guys, so today we're going to be talking about this topic below: managing friends / partners exploit. Alright, I know it's a bit of a thing since we are not yet married, alright, so but I think we can still speak. I know we've seen people that are married, we've interfaced with them, we've gone for conferences, though even beyond that, it can't be as though we are like in it, alright?
Definitely.
But we should still have like 1 or 2 cents to drop on the whole thing. So generally, like, what do you think about the topic? Managing friends exploits / partners exploit.
Well, I would say that the first thing that is really essential to understand here is people would always do exploits.
Definitely.
People would do things with their lives that make them, exceptional, and you can't stop that. I can't stop that. Yes. What matters is how we handle it, and I believe that is what this topic is all about. Because you can't stop people from being great. You should just aim to do that as well, right? Instead of having an issue with it. So
even in second year, I did a course. I was just going through before I came to Abeokuta. But yeah, in Abeokuta, just to do a lot of things, in particularity. So I was looking at a course I did in second year. So they taught us the great man theory, and I had to glance through the course again. Like I keep my wrote that this, I saw that they wrote that when great men are neither born or made, but when there is a great need, the great man arises. So that's the of greatness. That truly, you cannot put a leash on people. Like, this is where you can get to, and because the leash can be in your mind, like, I can't attain this level or something. So, but as you begin to move, as they say here in Africa, like 50 kids cannot play for 15 years. I think it's 10 kids, 20 kids cannot play for 20 years. So that involves that at a point, your friend begin to transit, and there is a level of insecurity that can set in.
Yes.
So do you want to speak about those insecurities? Like, I know you, Oyin, and I know you since you were very young, and you knew me when I was not this height, and
when I was taller than you.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see. But now you're taller than
exactly. So now you have seen me doing certain things, and I've seen you doing certain things. How do we manage it? Wherein you see very healthy, wherein I don't begin to, in quotes, or beef you like, but I used to know, and how do we manage those insecurities?
Okay, I think I will start by telling a personal story. So there is honestly right now I still always say I don't think we're that much of friends anymore. We're just acquaintances. So there used to be this no, not you.
Okay, great.
There used to be this friend of mine, a female, and we were so close in secondary school. Actually, we became close in secondary school, but we always knew each other from like primary school. We're so close in secondary school, and everybody always thought, best of friends, this. I mean, I always imagined she was going to be my chief bridesmaid.
Wow.
That's how close we were.
Girls are married from that age. Okay.
Forget I said that. But I always imagined she was going to be my chief bridesmaid, and same for her as well. It wasn't a one-sided thing, right? We were very close, and after school, we lived in the same area, but towards our SS2, SS3, I moved from that area. So we were not seeing as frequently, but we used to see in school. So we didn't really even feel it that we're not living in the same area anymore. We're still seeing frequently and all. And when we now finished school, I think that was where it became an issue. When we finished school, she was going to go to a private university. I was planning to go to a federal university, obviously.
Definitely.
So,
But that the smart people goes to.
Yeah, I agree. But no shade to the private university. You guys are also very smart. So she was planning to go to a private university like her older brother. I was planning to go to a federal university. And in the period between when we graduated and when schools were going to resume and all of that, we still used to see. But mostly I was the one going to her place because her parents were more conservative, and it's not like my parents were also very free. But when it comes to her matter, my mom doesn't mind me going out, right? So, and most times I channel it whenever I'm going to church, because the place is not far from our church. But when she got into school, I didn't get admission that year, right? Like I didn't get admission that year, and
I've only been in the story.
Don't make me lose my train of thought. So I didn't get admission that year, but she did, and because it was even a private university, she obviously even resumed quite earlier. I was still waiting for the admission list. As when she was going, I didn't know I wasn't going to get into school that year. It just looked like, okay, we're going to different universities. Oh, I'll miss you, all of that drama, and we promised to keep in touch. But as you know, private universities, especially Covenant University, that's where she attended, they don't allow phones, they only allow tabs, and it takes a while for some of them to get their WhatsApp onto the tab. So for a while we didn't talk, and when she eventually got her WhatsApp in, blah blah blah, we started talking, but it wasn't as frequent. And initially I was saying, oh, maybe she's just busy with school, I'm not in school yet, so I don't know what that feels like. But after a while, I realized, especially when I didn't get admission, I realized that I started feeling bad. Like, is it because I'm not yet in school, that's why she's not talking to me? Is it? And honestly, that may not have been what was really happening, but that was what was going through my mind. That was what was going through my mind. Like, is it because she's now in school, she's now in university, and I'm still trying to search for admission, and that's why it's not like I'm done now. I passed all my exams and all, but it was it was just something that really got me that time, and it took conscious effort to say, okay, you know what, she's not that kind of person. Eventually, right, we began to grow distant in communication and all, but we still try to keep that bond, even though we don't communicate as often. In fact, I was supposed to go for her convocation, but I was still in school, and it fell towards my exam period, so I couldn't go. I was willing to travel away from Ilorin to Otta, just for her convocation. That's for you to know how much I really treasured her in my heart. But things, exam and all of that didn't allow me to go. But even as at that time, the communication was already strained, the relationship was already strained, and sincerely, even as at then, I was already thinking, she already went to a private university, made friends with big people, and maybe I'm not so significant in the grand scheme of things anymore. And I just, I took my L. I took my L with pride, but I just also don't want to see it as if that was what really happened. It could have just been that we fizzled out, really, because you can't be friends with people, you can't be friends with certain people forever.
Definitely.
Certain people are friends for certain seasons. And in as much as it might look like it's a situation that caused the fizzling out, it doesn't make them less of a friend. It doesn't stop the friendship you guys once had, or should I say, it doesn't diminish the friendship that you guys once had. It doesn't make the person a bad person. So now, as at that time, she was, in quote, already doing exploits with her life. I went for a 6-year course. That's also turned to 7 years.
Definitely.
But she did a 4-year course. She graduated when I was still in 300 level. I was in 300, I think maybe just entering 400, and she was already doing her convocation. So I was already feeling, one kind of, see my mates, they're already doing this, she graduated, went on to do NYSC, went on to, all these ICANN exams, because she did economics and all. She did all of those things, and after a while I got to know that, she was going to travel out for her masters, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So at that point I just knew that, what's going on? Why am I think it took me speaking to my mom or someone that I was now feeling like, I was feeling so down, I was feeling less. My mom was like, it's not like you had extra,
you're doing bad.
It's not like you're doing bad. It's not like maybe you understand, like, you're still in school, not because you carried a course or because you failed and you have to repeat years. You're in school because that's the duration your course demands. Like, why are you making it seem like your life is over? And after a while, that came back to my consciousness, and I was really happy for her, because I'm like, okay, you're doing well with your life, and that's good. Everything is going okay, and all of that. At some point again, I'm using her because of the history. Like, there are other friends that I have that they've gone on to do exploits, but I'm using her particularly because of how well or how more close we were growing up. Now she's engaged. I mean, like, they have proposed, will you marry me? I know.
Where's the ring? Okay.
Realness. Right? And when that happened as well, I was like, wait, are we on the same age? She's literally just 3 months older than I am, and I'm like, but I know that it's not for a a bad behavior that I have. That's why I'm not engaged. It's just seasons, right? Seasons, and I think that's one thing that we really need to point out here. Seasons come for different people at different times. What is your season of shining may not necessarily be my season of shining. It may be my own season of drawing back. It may be my own season of building. It may be my own season of,
maybe pruning.
Pruning, exactly. It could be anything. So because one person is currently out there shining and all, doesn't make you less of a person, right? What matters is teach your heart or condition your heart to a point where you don't now begin to how do I put this? You don't now begin to hate on the person or have envy grow in your heart because why is this good thing happening to him or her and it's not happening to me? Am I now less of a person? Because these things will come, right? That thought would come, but it's your place to banish the thought, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, whoever you are. But it's not healthy, right? It's okay to say, oh, I see what is happening in your life, and oh, I would really wish that I was also doing this well. But it doesn't now mean you should hate where you are at the moment or hate the person for doing that exploit. That's witchcraft.
Yeah, that's it. And I think that's like very detailed because there is a thin line in these things. Where you begin to, you said at some point that you begin to realize that. So there is a dawn that doesn't come to the point like, what's going on?
Exactly.
So that kind of situation gets you to start thinking so many things. You begin to think, or maybe she doesn't want to be my friend again. Or maybe but I'm just really glad that you're able to manage it, which is the core of this whole topic. That managing the exploit of our friends and our partners, because you see, I've come to realize that people will keep thriving, as you said initially, like we can, and can never appear what we're gonna be like. Oh my god. So people, so you don't even know you can. So doing service, I met a friend, Miss Azoka. One day we just had a YouTube video like this before David and Shetan in my room in service in Lokoja, and she said something during the YouTube video during the when we were recording. She said on the code that at times we don't know the people we just rub shoulders with. People just come out and we don't know, and that was actually she telling me that with what they call dark speeches that Lee before said, "Mister, I'm going to go to London," because second year did not finish and she left. Though we are still in tandem like very much. So the point is that even the people you are friends with, you can just see them right now in their embryo. You don't know what they can become. So you have to intentionally teach your heart that irrespective of the height you get to. If my own is just to stay behind the scene to cheer you, I will do it
with all my heart.
And we can't do that with a friend. We can't do it with a partner.
That is it. And I think that's why it's essential that we started from the friend aspect.
Exactly, not the partner. Now for some persons they'll be like, if my partner is beginning to progress, maybe let's say I'm dating a person right now, we're just like courting, right? For perspective, we're courting, and I said, okay babe, this month let's take let's take two courses in our field. For optometry and communication, take 2 courses, let me take 2 courses. If you begin to realize that your partner, and you started your course and you're very diligent with it, despite the fact that you're a very, very busy person and all, and you just share to your partner 2 certifications from Coursera, like I've done, and partner like, if the partner can say, watch out, because you could even say, you can even stop it for now, that simply means that he cannot manage the exploit. That simply means if you, my partner, begin to speak in, maybe you get a very, very large portfolio in WHO, I will say don't go. I'll not connect you with some hate of me. You go back there. So how do you manage it? When I know you're not married, but potential I'm thereabouts. So so how do we manage it when we get there? When I get married right now and I'm just I'm a simple, I love to be like a simple person. And let's imagine I get married to someone that is maybe that is maybe cloud engineering, and this person is just all about babe, I'm not Kigali, like we're going to Kigali today, and next week I'm going for this. And I know that beyond the fact that you're doing those exploits, there's also a return on the family's income. So how do we manage it wherein it still does not take out the salvo of the relationship? So how do we do that? That's deep.
But like we said earlier, if you can't successfully manage it at the friendship level, you have issues when it gets to the partner level, right? Whether you're husband, your wife, or even from relationship stage, from when you're courting, even if it is just your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever name you want to call it, your partner, let's just leave that partner, married or married.
Yeah.
If you've not successfully managed your emotions at the friendship level, it will be difficult when you're married or when you're in a relationship, because you can't suddenly change.
Definitely.
You can't plant a mango tree and expect to come there and reap oranges.
Or reap coca hoot.
It's not possible, right? So what was not in you before will not suddenly come out because you've now found someone that you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with.
That's true.
So it's a matter of intentionality. It's a matter of you teaching or training yourself, right? Honing those qualities in you, because I believe that they are in every human being, especially if you're a Christian. You have the Spirit of God in you, right? And automatically you should be able to exhibit things like self-control, love, joy, peace, meekness, emphasis on meekness.
Yes.
You should be able to exhibit all of that. And but if you're not doing it, it just shows that there is something you've not worked out in you. That I'll say the first thing, there's something you've not. One thing that makes people be insecure when their partner is doing exploits is if they feel less of themselves. Like at that point they are feeling like, oh, maybe my life is not so put together, I'm not doing so well right now. That is the only time, or that is like one of the major criteria that can make you feel like, is this person now, calm down small, it's not that deep, like bring it down. And you are traveling out and why should you, maybe you shouldn't even travel. Don't get to that level, it's witchcraft.
That's true.
But I think that's like one of the major reasons or major causes for people that say, they are not so comfortable with their partner doing so much with their life. Like, why are you so everywhere? Can't you just be in one place? Sometimes it's as a result of them feeling less of a person. And I don't think anybody should feel less of themselves, because regardless of whatever phase you're in, that's not the best you can be. That's not the highest height you can get to. It's just a matter of how much you put yourself out there, how much you maybe even develop yourself, because sometimes we are the reason for our own smallness. We are the reason for our own smallness. So maybe you just need to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you just need to step out of your shell a bit, right? But regardless, even if you are doing your best at that moment and you're still not as successful as you would want to be, doesn't mean that you should now hate on someone else's success or rain on their parade. Doesn't make any sense. And that's the first thing. For some, they are actually real successful people, but they don't want anybody to be more successful than they are. But they don't want you to even be as successful as they are. This is the part where you say that's witchcraft. Please, that is witchcraft. Exactly. For some people, that's their own issue. It's not because maybe they are not doing so well with their life. For some, they are doing so well. Like, in fact, they are almost at like the pinnacle of their careers. They are doing so well. They are wealthy. They are well-to-do. They have a happy home. Well, if you call it a happy home. The reason I said call it a happy home is because if you don't want your wife or your husband to be more successful than you are, it's not a happy home. So that's why I said if you call it a happy home. So they are successful. They are wealthy. They are at the pinnacle of their careers, and the only issue is they don't want anybody to be as rich as they are, or as successful as they are, or as happy as they are. Right? They don't want anybody to be as grounded or as well known, as prominent as they are. Not to talk of exceeding them. That is witchcraft. No other words. It's just the same. And I think that Jesus Christ washes his bride, which is the church, with the water of his word to make us clean and spotless. That is exactly how the husband is supposed to do for his wife. You're supposed to, under you or with you, she's supposed to be her best self. Right? People should say, she looks more beautiful now that you've married her. She's more wealthy now that you've married her. She's more knowledgeable. She should be a better version of herself. And the same goes for the man. Scripture says that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. If you marry somebody, your life don't be enjoying favor up and down. Like that's how it's supposed to be. So for example, as a lady, you say you want to take your master's, you want to take your PhD, and your partner is telling you, do you think you really need all that? My dear, married to know these things. You don't have to be married to know these things. That's why we can talk about it. We are both not married. Yeah, but you don't have to be married to know these things. It's common sense. Anybody that claims to love you we want the best for you. Do you understand?
Thank you so much. Since we do not intend to bore you guys with technicalities, we're gonna hang the cloak here. So just be kind to you to comment section to tell us what you feel about this topic. I'm gonna link Oyin's Instagram in the description box. You should follow her to get on how to keep your eye in the most appropriate ways and also to get other products that she's into. Till I come away again. Bye.